It's time to hit social media for cash tags, and for that, we'd like to welcome in Andy Swan, the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, and welcome back Fast Market contributor Evelyn Baker. And we're taking a look at Target.
Yep, Target reports earnings tomorrow morning, and it sort of wraps up some of the big names in retail that we've been seeing report over these past couple weeks as we finish off this earnings season, right? Target's one of my favorite companies that we talk about because in my life, I go there almost every day, and they've really expanded as far as their clothing brands.
Wait, you go to Target every day?
I stand by it. I go to Target almost every day. There's one right by my apartment. There's one really close to work. It's really made itself a pivotal place for people who live in urban environments. Mm-hmm. But I know that I'm talking just for myself. So Andy, I'm wondering what your data is showing you. Do other people in the States also go to Target almost every day?
Yeah, I think Target has a really loyal following. That is for sure. What we're seeing at Target is a nice little bump in year-over-year purchase intent mentions, which is people talking about shopping at Target, going in the stores, shopping online with the company. And so, going into this earnings report, I think we would say that after the Walmart release, probably Target is pretty fairly priced right here. I don't really have anything super bullish or bearish on the company. I think they've got it about right with expectations. But on a longer term basis, we're actually starting to get really, really excited about Target. I think it's one of the kind of dark horse names in e-commerce. Their acquisition of Shipt is really starting to pay some significant dividends in the data that we see. So Target, along with Walmart, we think are really starting to build a nice coalition against Amazon and really start to dig at those established gains that Amazon had in terms of e-commerce. The delivery trend is very real, and Target's in a very good spot to take advantage of that with that acquisition of Shipt, which is just kind of blowing up.
Andy, when we talk about Walmart and Target and Amazon, it's always really interesting to me because let's face it, Walmart has a little bit of a stigma problem, and there's some people that will not go in a Walmart. Whether you want them to or not, no matter what the prices are, they won't go in there. But Target seems to be that happy medium between discount, but it's a little nicer experience. They've upgraded a bunch of their stores. Your data looks really positive on Target when a lot of our discussions around Walmart versus Amazon, how are they differentiating themselves between those two big names?
Well, I think that their delivery is really one of the key things. I think that they, you're right. They had a little bit better reputation than Walmart, although I'm starting to see some of that, kind of Walmart negativity wear off a little bit. I think that their marketing has been very good. Again, their e-commerce solutions are very good. You don't need to have a membership to get the item shipped to you very quickly and most of the time for free. So I think that both companies are in a really good spot to challenge Amazon. I kind of liken it to what happened to Microsoft after the dot-com boom. Everybody started to think, well, that was a behemoth that is now outdated. That's the way they think of Walmart. But the comeback from Microsoft was very, very real. And I think we're starting to see the same. You think about with Walmart and Target, the one thing that they have that Amazon does not have that Evelyn kind of touched on here is they have a distribution center and delivery mechanism within a couple of miles of every single citizen in the United States almost. And so I think that that's a big advantage going forward. They're starting to figure it out finally. A little late to the party, but doing a really good job.
Andy, I'm so glad that you mentioned that just now because I have a tweet that says almost exactly that. Our first tweet from Michael Miraflor, he says, Amazon acquired Whole Foods in part because it scaled their local delivery capability. Target already has that real estate. This is as much about delivery distribution as it is about driving foot traffic. And this really speaks to their acquisition of Shipt back in 2017, right? And being able to offer these services to people because, like you say, instead of Amazon, they actually have these brick and mortar buildings to where they can reach so many more people.
Andy, quick follow-up on this, because I think that's in line with kind of a thought I have, and I want to get your take on this, though. This move towards the one-day shipping and the e-commerce shift, this is more defensive than anything, though. Amazon's coming in and potentially stealing business. They're basically just trying to keep business because if Amazon can deliver something in one day, that's going to make it less likely that you would go to Target and get it. So to me, while this is a growth opportunity, it's almost more defensive than anything. Am I thinking about this incorrectly?
No, I think defensive is okay. You know, I also think that this is a massive growth sector. Just e-commerce in general is growing so fast. I think it's not necessarily a zero-sum game. I think that there's a lot to be gained from being a key player in e-commerce as this kind of mega trend develops over time. And so when you look 5 years out and you start to think about all of the things that a Target, Walmart, and yes, Amazon can offer to consumers, it starts to get really interesting when you think about delivery being a staple of that. And so I think it is defensive in terms of they're tired of losing market share to Amazon, but I also think that there's significant upside in terms of just growth in the sector and growth in retail in general that could happen as a result of this convenience.
So our next tweet I have is from Phil Waba, and he says, another crap quarter at Kohl's, with comp sales down 2.9%, though the company says they rose in the second half of quarter two. It's clear that Target is taking market share thanks to its more attractive store brands. Kohl's and Target. Let's see if the Amazon returns give Kohl's a sales lift. I chose this tweet because it sort of scales back the competition or the discussion around Target's competition with Amazon and Walmart and shifts it more to just that retail focus. And I feel like a lot lately with these retail earnings, we're talking about how it's become a stock picker's market. There's some very obvious winners and losers. Kohl's, we saw this morning, was a loser. So Andy, is Target on course to be a winner in this sphere?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty hilarious when a company's, you know, kind of next growth strategy is accepting returns of its competitor. I mean, that's just a bizarre strategy. They're desperate to get people in the store, whereas Target, I think, is doing a much better job of capitalizing on the great brand that it's built, and now finally, once again, coming through on the e-commerce side, on the delivery side. They're just catching up technologically and then already have the distribution infrastructure in place. So, you know, I think that there's something there. I think that you're right. In retail, there's going to be a few winners and a lot of losers. And we think long-term, probably Target's going to be one of those winners.
Alrighty, so we tie that into kind of what you started this with, though, looking at this particular quarter and this earnings announcement, though, you don't really have a strong feel. This is more of a long-term sentiment that you guys at LikeFolio have on Target in terms of the bullish aspect of it, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think Target's going to report a nice, solid quarter. I don't see any reason why they would guide anywhere but higher, if anything at all. And you know, we're looking at it from a long-term perspective. I would actually like if Target took a little bit of a hit tomorrow. I think that there's opportunity in that, especially in months like August. And so when you start to see these long-term trends bubbling up, I think of it as a put it on your watch list, buy the dips type of company.
Alrighty, Andy, we'll leave it there. Really great stuff, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Cool, thank you.
Alrighty, Evelyn, thanks to you as well.